Faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible. All you want is the strength to get through your life. You know, I've been going through a lot lately. Somebody sent me a plaque. You know what it said? It said, on the days that I feel like I'm not going to make it, on the days that it feels like I can't endure anymore, I think back on my track record for surviving all my bad days. And so far, surviving all my bad days, my track record is 100%. That's pretty good. Now, I have some tough moments. This lady's right about something. It ain't about the money. I know a lot of very, very rich people that's miserable, not happy at all. I can bet you most of you are happier than most of the people I know. And I know some very, very wealthy people. And money don't make you happy. It helps you through a lot of situations. You know the only thing about money? Money takes all emergencies and turns them into mere inconveniences. That's what money does. Really, other than that, it's a lot to come with money. But if that's your desire to get more of it, you got to ask God for it. If you want to be happy or successful, you got to ask God for it. Most people don't.
We can choose to put our faith in God, and when we do that, amazing things begin to happen in our lives. Now, according to Ephesians 2:8-9, by grace we're saved through faith. Everything, every blessing comes to us by the grace and the mercy of God. God has provided it through Jesus. Faith is not the price that buys the blessings of God. It's the hand that reaches out and receives it. I want you to understand that. By grace, through faith, we are saved. But the same way we're saved is the way we're supposed to live our whole entire life, every single day of our life, every situation that comes up. We need to do what we do in faith. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is this. Many of you may know quite a bit about faith, but I can tell you there is a large majority of Christians in the world who don't have any idea what faith really is and how it works and how to release faith in their life.
Faith is a belief in things that you cannot see. And sometimes when you can't see no way, that's when you really got to have faith, because that's what it is. If you could see it, you wouldn't have to have faith. If you knew you were going to be rich in 4 years, you would act totally different, because you know in 4 years I'm going to be rich. So all you got to do, then you wouldn't need faith. All you need is patience. But God don't reveal to you when He going to give it to you, because that would destroy the relationship of faith. He just requires that you have the faith. Now, He going to give it to you. If you write it down, He going to give it to you. Everything that's in your imagination is God showing you a preview of a coming attraction He has for you. That's what your imagination is. Talk to God often. Even if you're not perfect, just talk to Him every day. You don't have to be in the same faith I'm in, or you ain't got to call God the same thing I call Him. But listen to me, you do have to call Him, though. It's not going to make your life easy.
But there's nothing more powerful than your faith. When you believe, when you expect things to change, when you keep saying to yourself, I know the breakthrough is coming. I know healing is on the way. I know the right person is in my future. I know what God started, He's going to finish. Your faith can stop the Creator of the universe. That's what activates His power. When God sees you doing what you can, believing when there's no sign, thanking Him when you're weak, taking steps of faith when you're uncomfortable, God will give you strength that goes beyond your natural ability. He'll help you do what you couldn't do on your own. I just kept believing day after day, thanking God. Last week, on Monday, something happened that I've been believing for over 3 years. I was so grateful. Then Tuesday morning, something even more amazing happened. I couldn't believe it. If that wasn't enough, Tuesday evening, something bigger than the first two combined more than I can imagine happened. It was like rapid fire, boom, 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 a flood of God's favor. That's the way God is. When you stay in faith, you consistently thank Him even when there's no sign, you will come into these suddenlies where God not only surprises you, you didn't see it coming, but it will exceed your expectation. The Scripture talks about how God will do things that will cause our head to spin. My head was spinning that night. Maybe you've been praying, believing, expecting for a long time. Stay encouraged. It's on the way. You are closer than you think. It's going to happen sooner than it looks. There's no sign of things improving. Everything looks the same. Get ready. God is full of surprises. He doesn't always do things in a normal way where it gradually gets better. He'll do them suddenly, out of the ordinary. You didn't see it coming. It's because day after day, week after week, you kept touching Him. You kept expecting it. You kept thanking Him it was on the way. You kept talking like it was going to happen. Your faith is going to make you whole. Your faith is going to break the addiction. Your faith is going to bring you out of debt. Your faith is going to help you accomplish your God-given dreams. Talked to a lady that started having problems with her legs. Her muscles and joints were causing her such pain. Got to the point where she couldn't walk. All the doctors could do was give her medicine for the pain. For several months, she couldn't go to work. She couldn't stand up. She had to stay at home off of her feet. The prognosis didn't look good. She didn't know if she would ever walk again. One Saturday evening, she and her husband were watching our services online. At the end, I always ask people to stand to receive Christ. Well, her husband stood up right there in the living room. She smiled and was pleasantly surprised. He looked at her and said, "Come on, honey, stand up with me." She was kind of confused, said, "What do you mean? You know I can't stand." He said, "Sure you can." He took her by the hands and he helped her up. He held her while we were praying. I can imagine God seeing her there, standing in great pain, being held by her husband, but determined to take a step of faith. I said at the end, write this date down. It's going to be a new day of victory. That seed took root in her heart. She believed it was a new day. In a few minutes, while she was sitting on the couch, she felt the bones in her legs begin to pop and crack, and her muscles begin to move. She said, "I can't explain it, but something unusual was happening." Strength began to come back into her legs. Her faith made her whole. Just like that lady fought her way through the crowd. When God sees you releasing your faith, it gets His attention. That's what activates His power.